Rick Perry is the real deal. He thinks as a conservative. He's conservative in his heart. He's not just conservative in terms of talking the good game. He carries it out in his public policy.
And one of the reasons that I liked Rick was he was a good guy when he was a Democrat, but he saw the light and came over to the Republican Party and was an important part of the history we've now had in Austin and in the state of Texas.
His bold, courageous, incredible leadership in taking our state back to what the founders envisioned.
When I think of Rick Perry on a personal basis, I think of a person who is extremely loyal to his friends.
I remember Rick when he ran the first time for Agriculture Commissioner in Texas. He made a splash then, and he's been on the move ever since, and I think he's got far to go.
We were getting ready for Hurricane Gustav, and one of the challenges was we had to do the largest civilian evacuation in our country's history. Almost 2 million people. We had to move 2 million people off the coast. We had to move thousands of medical patients. We had to evacuate literally the entire coast of Louisiana from one end of the state to the other. Well, as we were evacuating folks out of New Orleans, it became apparent that we were going to have to get those patients out of the hospitals, out of the nursing homes. We already had as many ambulances as we could find, and we knew there wasn't going to be enough capacity. I ended up calling my good friend Rick, and I said, look, Rick, this is life or death. We need your help, and we need it right now. The most beautiful sight to me was Sunday morning. Just as the light was coming up, we'd already pre-moved the patients to the runways. We had gone out to the New Orleans airport on the lakefront airport. We had patients lined up. We had ambulances lined up. And the most beautiful sight was 6 C-130s coming in from Texas. These planes had special medical equipment. They were equipped to move those patients out of harm's way. Rick had no way of knowing for sure whether Gustav was going to stay in Louisiana or whether it might veer off course and come to Texas. And if it had done that, he might have needed those planes himself. But he didn't think twice. He knew people's lives were in danger. It didn't matter to him whether they were from Texas or Louisiana. If he could help, he was going to do it. And unlike a lot of folks, he didn't ask me about paperwork. He didn't ask me if we had permission. He didn't ask me who's going to pay for these planes or the fuel. He just said, whatever we have, whatever you need, we're going to get it done. To me, that tells you all you need to know about Rick Perry's heart, about his leadership, about his conservative principles.
You know, they say the CEO of an organization or the head football coach, the president or the governor or whatever gets more credit than they deserve when things go well and more blame than they deserve when things don't go well. I can assure you that Rick Perry does not get enough credit for the magnificent things he's done for this state.
He's a special man. We've enjoyed our relationship with him over the years. You know, we went up and saw him a few months ago and spent some time in his office at the Energy Department, and it was just a pleasure to see him so happy, because he had the best job in the world. That's governor of Texas. He said probably what he's doing now is the most enjoyable. So it's fun to see the governor happy.
You look around between Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, even out in West Texas, it's a boom. There's more people moving to Texas. There's people want to live here, and I think that part of that is the legacy of Dad for 14 years leading the state with a vision, being able to implement what he wanted.
You look at how much the state has advanced economically, where it ranks in the country, and the infrastructure that was put in to help that happen. There's no doubt that Governor Perry had a huge part to do with that.
I was raised to be a good man, but he taught me what it was to get out and actually care about people. I mean, you need to know when you're dealing with him, anything comes out of his mouth, I mean, he truly cares about this country. He loves being the Secretary of Energy, loves it. And he loved being the governor of Texas.
And I've seen a lot of governors work hard, do good jobs. Rick had a real talent to people that he didn't know well. And he would go out of state, and he brought more business to Texas than any 10 governors had ever brought.
Well, I think Rick has made an impact just by being very decisive in his leadership. He's listened to the facts, he's taken it all in, he's got an entrepreneurial spirit about him, he's left this state economically in great shape. Everybody in the state, I think, is proud of him, and I think he'll go down to be one of our greatest governors.
January 2011, we have a big party.
all the Perry people from his ag commissioner days, his light gov days, and his governor days. About 200 Perry people. Food, drinks, bowling, and karaoke. Well, I'm over there at the party flipping through the karaoke book, and Governor Perry walks up and says, "Hey, what are you singing?" I was like, I didn't know I was. I guess I'm singing Sweet Caroline by James. Yeah, it's a favorite. I'll do Sweet Caroline. I said, "What about you?" He goes, flipping through Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. And my eyes went this big, and I have all these thoughts going through my head. 200 people holding their cell phone cameras up, recording the longest serving governor in the history of the state of Texas singing Fat Bottom Girls, You Make the Rockin' World Go Round. And he sees the look in my face, and he knows what I'm thinking. And he looks at me and he says, "Heckman, I have run for my last race. I don't care." And I scramble in the back of my head for a thought, and I look at him and I said, "Oh, Governor, I don't care about that. Do whatever you want. All I'm saying is this. You can't sing like Freddie Mercury. Think about it. Nobody can." And he looks at me and he pauses and he flips through the book again and says, "ZZ Top." And I was like, always a good choice, always a good choice. So here I am thinking I've saved the world from this video. And then fast forward a few years later, he's on Dancing with the Stars, dancing to the theme song to Green Acres. So that's what you remember most, are those kinds of things.
Rick, I think obviously Joe and I both have some stories that obviously we're not putting on here, and I think that we probably maybe get you relaxed a little bit, that we're not going to go crazy. But some of the crazy stuff that we did is when we first met, and as we went through school, and as we graduated, and as Joe and I, you would send tapes around the world talking to each other. The thing now that sticks out the most to me is your faith and your love of the Lord. Sitting in church with you every Sunday, it is just such a blessing, and your love for Anita and the family and the kids and those grandkids, it comes across so much, and you're living the faith. And I think that some people may not perceive that from you, but being somebody who's been around you for a lawful long time, that is one thing and one trait of yours, is your faith in the Lord, that just is so thrilling to me.
And in the heat of the campaign, when he was having to go to debates and go to be out on the stump, he would finish one of the debates and he walked off the stage. And again, I got a phone call from him checking up on me while I was sitting down at MD Anderson, making sure that I was doing well and that I was beating cancer. And that's who he is. That's who the governor is.
I consider Rick Perry one of my closest friends. He's someone I can call that I know I can count on. And I think he knows he can call me and he can count on me at any time. I can't think of a more deserving person for this award than Rick Perry.
Governor Perry, congratulations on receiving the Ronald Reagan Award.
I can think of nobody better to associate with the name of Ronald Reagan than you and what you have done for the state of Texas and what you have meant for the United States of America. Your service in the armed forces, your service as governor, and now your service as Secretary of Energy. You embody all that is good and right about public service. You're the genuine article, and we love you and we thank you.
I think you had an incredible career. 15 years as governor of the state of Texas. You were a vital part in the growth of the party and where we are today. And for that, I want to say thank you.
Dad, congratulations on receiving the prestigious Ronald Reagan Award. If anyone in the world deserves it, it's definitely you.
Rick, I want to congratulate you for winning the Ronald Reagan Award.
Governor, congratulations, the Ronald Reagan Award. Very fitting.
So it's kind of ridiculous, and I'm proud of it.
And I would say congratulations, Governor, Secretary, for this award.
There's only one, the governor, in my mind, so I'll try to get used to calling you the Secretary, but congratulations.
We love you very much, brother. We're proud of you, and I can't think of anybody that's more worthy of this great award.
Congratulations, Secretary Perry, on this award. It is so deserved.
Rick, congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
Anybody deserves it, it's truly him, for sure.
You've meant everything to me personally, to Charlene, to all our family, but to every Texan. You're really our kind of guy.
Well, Rick Perry, it has been quite a journey, my friend, my hero, my mentor, and my governor, now my secretary. You have done us such an incredible honor by letting us recognize you and your leadership tonight with the Ronald Reagan Award. Congratulations, and we look forward to the next chapter and writing that together. Thank you.
Whisper. To whisper, the art of whisper, the persuasion of whisper, something Rick never learned to do. I was reminded of such when he was not whispering one Sunday during the sermon at church to Tommy Orr. As hard as I've tried all these years, I could never teach him to whisper. But if I had, perhaps he would not have become the longest-serving governor in Texas history. Or Texas would not have been the top producer of wind energy since 2006, and still is. The #1 U.S. producer of both natural gas and wind energy. Or in January 2015, The Atlantic wrote, Texas added more jobs since December 2007 than California, New York, Massachusetts, North Dakota, Louisiana, and Minnesota combined. I can only surmise that Ronald Reagan didn't always whisper either. So thank you for honoring Rick tonight with such a prestigious award.